Welcome to Miss Taylor's class notes. Just a real quick review. Remember, our exponential equation is y equals a times b to the x. The a is our y-intercept. Our start, our beginning, our initial. Our b is our rate, our ratio, our percentage. And then our x equals is our exponent. So today we're going to do what we call exponential regression, which means they're going to give us a table and we're going to have to predict information based on the table. We're going to turn the table into an equation and use that equation to predict data in the future. So anytime I see a table like this, I'm going to hit the plus sign in the top left-hand corner of Desmos, and I'm going to click table. Once I click table, we're just going to type in the numbers in our table. Make sure you type them in exactly. Double check just to make sure. So I'm always going to hit the plus sign in that little blue bar next to my table. It's just going to make my graph zoom into the data that I have. And so now we're going to take our basic equation, y equals a times b to the x, and we're going to make a couple of changes to make our exponential regression equation. So the first thing I notice as I look at my table on Desmos is their x has a 1, so my x needs a 1. Their y in the table has a 1, so my y in the table needs a 1. And then the final changes is instead of the equal sign, we need what in math we call our approximate symbol. You might think of it as a tilde if you're in Spanish, or a squiggle, or things like that. So we're going to click on the box underneath our table. We're going to hit Y1. It's automatically going to make that one small for us. If you're on your computer, you're going to hit Shift and the button to the left of 1, or you can hit your ABC button on your keyboard, and my squiggle's down there at the bottom. Then I'm going to type A, B, and then I'm going to hit my A to the B button, or if you're on your computer, you can hit Shift 6, and then we're going to type in X1. So here, Desmos is going to give us our A value and our B value. So right here is our A and our B value. So I'm always going to round to the 100th. So 2.6, what comes after the 6 is 0. After the 0 is still a number 0. Our B value is 1.50. And the number after the 0 is less than 5, so we're going to leave it like that. So now I'm going to take these two numbers, and they're going to become my line of best fit. My line of best fit simply just means we're going to take the A and the B, and we're going to write an equation. So our equation is going to be y equals 2.60 parentheses 1.50 to the x. So now we're going to type that equation into Desmos. We're going to X out everything else we have. I forgot my y. Y equals 2.6. Here I don't need to type in the 0. Parentheses 1.5. AB to the x. And so it gives us a nice graph. And now we can use this equation to predict things. So they want us to predict when f of x equals 10. So normally we see f of x, and all that means is that our x value is 10. So we're going to hit our settings wheel. We're going to turn it into a table, and then we're just going to type in the number 10. So when x is 10, using our equation and our line of best fit, our answer is going to be 149.9. And then I'm looking at the 2. The number after the 2 is a 9, so I'm going to round it up to a 3. And now I'm going to type in 15 in the next one, because f of 15 simply means x equals 15. 1,138.52. I'm going to look at the 2. What's after the 2 is a 4, so I'm going to leave the 2b. And that's how we do exponential regressions. So now let's do the same thing with our new table. So again, I'm going to hit the plus button, and I'm going to hit table. And then I'm just going to type everything in exactly as it is. I'm going to double check it 2 or 3 times to make sure I put in all the information correctly. I'm going to zoom in so it's easier to see my data and I can see all of my points. And then again, we start with the equation y equals a times b to the x. We look carefully at our table. On our table, it has our x has a 1, our y has a 1, and again, we need to change that equals to our approximate sign. And so that's what we're going to type in underneath. Y1, approximate, AB, oh no, where'd my A go? There it goes. Then we're going to hit our exponent, and then we're going to hit x1. So now we can fill in our A value and our B value. So our A value, so if we notice on Desmos, our A says 199.999. So all of those 9s are going to cause a domino effect, and it's going to turn my A value into 200. Our B value is going to be 0.4. I'm looking at the 1. The number after the 1 is 9, which means I'm going to round the 1 up to a 2. Again, our line of best fit is we're just going to plug in our numbers. So y equals 200, parentheses 0.42 to the x. And once we have that line of best fit, we're just going to simply type it into Desmos. And then to the x. And again, our f of x just tells us that our x is 10 and our x is 20. So we're going to hit our settings. We're going to hit table. We're going to type in 10. So 0.03, the number after 3 is the 4, so I'm going to leave the 3 as a 3. Then I'm going to type in 20. Whoa. So Desmos gives me this, and I'm going to put times, oh, why are you not writing? Come on, pencil. Times 10 to the negative 6. So the negative 6 tells me I'm going to move my decimal point to the left 6 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And every single one of those gets a 0. So this is a really, really, really small number. And then the 8 is going to turn the 5 into a 6. And so that's how we use Desmos and tables to predict data.